Does anyone want anything while he's out there?
Killy, do your job as Seeta.
Don't be a Geeta. Don't be a fucking Geeta right now.
Oh my gosh, and then we have to talk about the ending, because what the fuck was that?
That was a shitty. That wasn't even funny. Okay, I have a can.
Welcome to Fear of Stars, Desi Films Decoded, the podcast where four friends from different backgrounds unlock the world of Desi cinema. I'm Winnie, the Desi who's never been to India.
Hey, I'm Killy. I'm from India. I don't have a twin.
My name is Nikki. I also don't have a twin.
I'm Adam. I have 3 twins. And this movie, I learned that women will give up their entire lives for one dude if they like how he looks.
What? That's your takeaway?
Yeah.
Okay, that could not be further from my takeaway.
Well, I didn't think they were good look. The men in this movie were good looking.
Both of them completely give up their entire lives instantly and don't even report back home because they fall in love with a dude.
Also,
Adam, you could not be any further away from
also
the
they
point
come
of the
from
movie.
money.
Well, one of them does.
Oh, both of them, technically.
Technically,
after,
yeah.
After the reveal, both of them does.
So this is the kind of movie that makes you want to have twins.
I know. It's a choice. Yeah, it's a choice. I usually try to get twins, yeah.
Who's gonna save your ass like when you were in...
So what's the movie we watched?
Seeta or Geeta. Seeta and Geeta. At the recommendation of our Russian friend who said it was really big back in USSR back in the day. He grew up watching this.
I can see why.
Yeah, so I'd say this is the second biggest movie in Russia after Disco Dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved it.
It reminded me a lot of Disco Dancer. And they are physically just punching upper class people near the end, and that was really fun too. So I can see why it was led in the USSR.
Yeah, the action scene at the end was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked
very,
it.
very
There
Tarantino style.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
Wow.
I think I'm giving too much praise for but there are some things I didn't really like about the movie. Well, we'll get into it in a
Yeah.
minute. But I mean, it's just your typical... I mean, the first thing that came to mind when I watched the movie was that it's like a Prince and the Pauper style kind of film.
Prince and the Pauper mixed with Parent Trap, but also voluntary Parent Trap, kind of.
What is
Yeah.
Prince on the Pauper?
And Parent Trap? Yeah, so explain.
Prince and the Pauper was this was it a fairy tale? I forget.
Yeah,
It was like a fairy tale where there's a rich guy
Uh-huh.
and a poor dude. They look alike and they didn't like the lives they were living, so they switched roles and then
Okay,
lived
okay.
throughout.
Yeah.
And then
It's pretty
Parent
much
Trap was like a Disney movie. There's one in the 70s and one with Lindsay Lohan where it's 2 twins that are born, but then the parents split them up and don't tell them that they have a twin and then raise them separately, and then the kids figure out that they have a identical twin.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty
And
much
this
that.
movie was also actually inspired from an earlier Bollywood movie, right? From the 1960s. Maybe Killy can
Called?
tell us
No,
about
no,
that.
I don't know.
No.
Tell us,
I
Winnie.
don't know the name. Okay, hold on. I was gonna just...
I mean, Bollywood twin trope is a very popular one, a very famous one.
Ram or Shyam?
Ram or Shyam?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. I have
So-
never watched that film. Yeah.
Talk about the director a bit, though.
Ramesh Sippy?
Yes, he was 25 when he made this, and this was his second film.
Wow, and I just got to know from you, Adam, that he made Sholay as well. I watched both the films as a kid. I knew Sholay was made by Ramesh Sippy and written by Salim Javed duo. Salim is actually Salman Khan's father, and Javed Akhtar is pretty famous now. He's Farhan Akhtar's father, and he's pretty popular now. We're writing films and songs and stuff, and. Yeah, so I didn't know that this film is also made by the same trio, like Ramesh Sippy as director and Salim Javed as writer of the film. So yeah.
Yeah, and also stars all the 3 actors in this movie also reappear in Sholay a few years later. So
Yeah.
Hema, Sanjeev Kumar, and
Yeah.
the other doctor guy.
Sanjeev Kumar just ages a lot there. He's an old man there.
Yeah. Well, Sanjeev Kumar passes away a bit younger in life, I'd say. He had a heart attack. He's the guy that plays the doctor.
Yeah, I want to talk about opening doctor as well. That remember, you know that guy?
He's like laughing like nonstop.
Oh, but he had cough syrup, right? They kind of weaved that in where he said that thanks for the cough syrup for my cold, and he's obviously just high off his marbles.
Yeah, let's kick that off, I guess.
It just no like the movie. Do you guys feel like the movie just starts like
It goes so fast.
so fast? Like I thought like we missed like a scene or something. Like it just went straight into how this like woman was giving birth. So basically, there's like a rich couple and the woman was going into labor, and then they decided to like quickly stop by this like poor community, and then this like poor home where there's like also another couple living there. They offered like shelter for the woman, and then like the both men went to see this doctor. And like straight off, he's such a peculiar.
It's such a weird character.
Character. Who the hell? He's just like laughing nonstop. I thought he was gonna serve like a higher purpose in the story, but no, he was just there for that one scene.
He has like a weird mustache. He's completely useless and just kind of like nods his head and smiles and laughs and does nothing. And then the poor family delivers the baby, and then the doctor just takes money and leaves. And yeah, he's like high, drinking cough syrup the whole time.
This guy plays a Hitler knockoff in Sholay.
Oh, really?
As a comic relief as well.
Is this guy like a famous comedian or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a cameo, right?
Because I was like, who is this guy? Why is he playing such a big role who does nothing?
He's a big comedian and like comic actor, and then he has done like this kind of comic relief a lot.
He shows up and they're like, oh, the baby's done. He's like, great, glad I could help. And there's like, here's some money, and then he laughs and leaves, and it's a huge scene. But yeah, the movie like goes bang right into it. I noticed how quick it was, and then at the end too, it
just wraps
speeds
up
by really quick too. So you just get this long middle, and then very very quick Act 1 and Act 3s.
Gotta have enough time to showcase all the abuse and beatings and slashings that go on.
So they have babies.
So like the woman gives birth to a baby. The rich couple thanks the poor couple that like, hey, thank you so much. However, how can we, like they said something like, how can we repay you? And then the poor father, the poor man, he says that, well, we wanted a child of our own. So it would be nice if you could give us our blessings. Yeah. And then according to the subtitles, I don't know if they translated very well, but like the rich dad says, well, if we had twins, we would give away one of our daughters to you.
No, that's what he says.
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah.
That's such a weird thing to say, man.
I mean, it's like, you helped us so much in dire need. If we had like 2 kids, we'll give one to you.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
But then they decided, like, the rich couple, they with the baby in hand, they were like, we'll be on our way. And then they leave. And then it turns out that the poor woman, she actually tells her husband that actually they did give birth to twins, but she hid the other twin so that they could keep it for themselves.
It's crazy.
Now, one technicality. I don't know. I've never had kids, so I can't speak, but I assume that the pain is severe enough that you're going through contractions and giving labor twice, right? There's no epidural. She's giving birth in a house like this. Yeah. This other woman is just acting like a midwife kind of thing, right? So there's no drugs. You're gonna feel you're pushing out 2 babies.
How can you miss that? Like, how can the woman not realize there were two babies coming out of her?
Did she pass out from the pain?
She probably passed out. I guess that's the logic.
That's what they make it seem. Like she was asleep.
You pass out after. You can't be asleep. You have to push, right? It's like you're playing. You
close your eyes and then you open them and you have a baby.
None of the writers knew how
probably because it's all male writers.
Yeah, but like I guess that's how that works, right? She like doesn't feel anything or knows how it goes.
All those scenes of women screaming, they're just being dramatic.
They're
laughing. Doesn't really hurt.
They're laughing in there.
She thought like one is the kid and the next one was a fart.
It's like those MTV shows where they take a shit and they had a baby on accident and didn't know they were pregnant.
I didn't know I was pregnant. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, but then she kidnaps this child and says, well, we can give the love that rich people cannot give, or something like that.
Flash cut to
the present. They're both grown up, but I'll start off with the rich side first. So the rich family, conveniently, the parents are dead. They're dead.
No reason. Did they even tell you? They're just like boom dead, right?
No, they're just boom dead. But basically, like they're dead, and they own this like huge mansion, and the mansion is supposed to go to their daughter, whose name is Seeta. And then she's basically like basically like it will only go to her if she's like married to somebody, right? But for now, like she's being taken care of by this aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
But like this aunt is like your typical evil big auntie character.
Yeah.
It's like Cinderella.
It's like
It's literally Cinderella, yeah.
And then the uncle is like this really weak, submissive, useless of a like shell of a man, basically.
I was so angry at the uncle. I'm like,
He's so
you
useless.
should die. Like,
Yeah.
You shouldn't exist.
He seems good intentioned, but he's just useless. He doesn't seem to agree with all the abuse and the
I
way
hate
that they
him.
treat Sita. But yeah, he's such a weak character.
I hate him more.
What is
More
the
than the aunt.
relationship between Sita and the aunt? Is that her real aunt?
Yeah.
That's the real end.
So then,
I think she's related to the uncle, and aunt is his wife.
I don't think
you have to, because
like
the
expose
aunt's
that.
brother
is the uncle.
tries to rape
Yeah.
Sita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
he's not trying to rape his family member.
yeah. I think aunt is the in-law here.
Right.
I don't think did
Yeah.
they ever confirm that because
But
I
it's
don't
kinda
think
given.
yeah.
You'd have
I
to
don't know.
be, because he's not going to like rape his
What-
own niece.
What makes you say that?
Maybe he will-
Like,
yeah.
But there are
But I
plenty
feel
of
like maybe
cases.
I feel like he could.
But
yeah.
I think because whenever this kind of stories happen in Indian cinema, like the compassionate one is kind of blood related, and
Yeah.
and the more vile person is like in-laws, like I mean related by marriage.
Yeah, and it's not really clear as well how old Sita is supposed to be in this movie, right?
Right.
Because she gets allowances, but of course her aunt just takes it away from her. And at some point, you would think that she no longer is a minor, so she would have legal rights to all of her inheritance. But it seems to be from the movie that she has to get married in order to claim that inheritance, because until then, she's technically legally adopted by the aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
Absurd.
They're also physically abusing her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they want to give her the money, but the aunt keeps just taking it for herself. They physically punish her. They force her to do all the laundry, do all the cooking. They're mean to all of their servant staff. There's another little old servant that
Yeah.
they shit on all the time. And I think even if
Who's the grandmother?
Yeah, I was gonna
what do you mean who?
And then there's a grandmother.
there's a grandmother.
Yeah, I mean I think she's blood related.
So
Yeah.
so let's say uncle is blood related. So it's either
That's his
the
mom.
mother's brother or
Yeah.
father's brother, something like that. Did you say
Again,
anything?
that doesn't become clear. But just seeing that there's no real relationship between the aunt and uncle and the grandma, you would think that they don't really care about her, right? They
Yeah.
also put her in a room. She's really sick. They don't let her
Yeah.
come and eat dinner with them at the
Yeah.
table or anything like that.
So that means that this uncle, his mom and his niece, his wife is abusing both of them. And he's just watching his wife abuse his mother and his niece, his brother's daughter.
Yeah,
Right?
that's why I hate him the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is the worst.
Yeah.
The fat auntie, what's her name? Just auntie, right?
yeah.
Kashalya or some. There was like their name Kashalya.
Oh wow.
Kashalya.
Yeah.
She's incredibly evil.
She
She's
is
one of the
so
most evil
evil.
people I've ever seen, where she's just incredibly mean. She has large coats of makeup on, so she looks like a mean clown, and she's doing all these faces for the camera and mugging and stuff, and it's super funny. She's a very funny villain, and she's just incredibly like a very physical actor, and she just is an incredible bitch to this woman, and you instantly hate the aunt, and you feel very bad for Sita.
Yeah, they also have like this aunt and uncle. They have their own child. It's
Yeah.
like this bratty daughter. So basically, yeah, everyone is mean to Sita. Like Adam said, it's like a Cinderella situation. You know, when all that is happening, you know, she was giving a lot of chores. She accidentally like burns the dress of the bratty daughter, and she pretty much gets punished through like all these like dramatic slaps, and then they lock her up in a room, and you know they like the others have mentioned, there's also like the aunt's pervy brother who's like always lusting after Sita and always saying that, you know, he would like marry her and like get her out of this situation. And basically it culminates in like a scene where they like she's about to get raped, and when he doesn't get to have his way, he like frames her for like stealing a wallet. and also, you know, they're like everyone said, like it's the only way that she can own the mansion is that if she gets married. And there's like a lot of suitors that like come to like offer their proposals, but then like the aunt and uncle, they would do everything they can to like prevent that from happening. Like for one example is like they dress Sita up to be like this like provocative
like disco dancer.
Yeah. They said like, oh, the West has surely is more progressive than us or whatever. I thought it was a little weird. I mean, there's nothing provocative. To me, there was nothing provocative with what she was wearing. But again, you know, I guess it's like a culture.
She had a
thing.
short skirt. She had heels. She had
like fishnet stockings, kind of. And you can see she's very uncomfortably unable to walk in the heels.
Yeah.
And the aunt orders her to carry a cup of tea, a tray of tea to them in those heels, and then she just like slips and falls, splashes it everywhere, which leads
but
to
the guy reveals later that he saw the daughter of the auntie like kind of
kicking her
so that like she trips. I mean, it was not shown on the visual, but like he refers it later. Okay, we'll come to that later scene. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand well, but it is very much like, you know, oh, Western women bad, Indian women good, kind of. It plays in that dynamic, and it's very eyesore, and like it sounds so bad to me.
I kind of cringed. I cringed a bit. Like I was like,
it was super cringy.
Yeah.
But that's because the doctor, the suitor, was looking for a traditional, nice Indian woman that will cook. You know, so basically the aunt just tried to present him of the exact opposite, so that he would not be interested in marrying.
Yeah, I like how the good character in this film has these regressive values, and that plays out.
I love it. Yeah.
I love that part. Like it actually brings out that what people think was right, because from filmmakers' point of view, that these are right things to say in a film from a good person's point of view, and that comes out as those dialogues and those point of view of good characters, quote unquote. So so that was like pretty cringe and pretty funny to see. Like oh like I come from West, I come from there. The women have everything, they're pretty good, but they don't have values.
It does. It's like that.
It's very class coded. I mean, the whole movie's about class and passing and being born in different places, and then having different, you know, class codes, but they're interchangeable, right? So it makes sense that they're just constantly showing you scenes of people pretending to be in different classes and stuff.
Yeah, the suitor is like a doctor he's played by, what's his name?
Sanjeev
Kumar. And then that's the rich part, right? And then you have the poor side of things, where the other person, played by the same actress, Hema Malini, this is Geeta. She's basically like this like gypsy street performer. She performs she does like tightrope walking with this other dude. That's played by
Dharmendra.
This guy is the father of Sunny and Bobby Deol, so he is also like an elite Bollywood family.
But yeah, like this Geeta, she's like, you know, she's the complete opposite of Sita. She's like very boisterous. She's very like headstrong. Like does a lot of like unfeminine. She has a lot of unfeminine qualities. Like she like steals some money, can fight back, and stands up for herself.
But she's also the most attractive.
So for me, like the Geeta parts in the whole movie were the most entertaining. But like the Sita parts were just so
depressing,
aggravating to get through, because like this woman, when she's playing as Sita, she's like so submissive, never stands up for herself, is always like weak, and it was just so hard to see everyone like abuse the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely painted as opposite ends of the extreme.
Yes.
It can be really frustrating to see Sita, you know, like she cannot speak up for herself at all. And I wish maybe the producers tried a bit more to show like some character development or some voice. But I think because they also painted Geeta at quite an extreme of being such a independent, dignified, like fiery, fierce woman, they wanted to show kind of those polar opposites.
But it does feel like the Geeta parts were more fleshed out than the Sita parts. Does anyone get that vibe?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, you have to have two extremes, and if it's the same actor, you can't have them too similar, and that makes the Sita character just suck as a character.
But
you know,
but over the period, like the character, there should have been some character arc where she like learns how to like speak back or
Right,
something, like
right.
talk back.
That
Yeah.
is lacking.
That
That's
is
definitely
superb
lacking.
lacking. Like till the end, like she's like the same person.
Yeah.
Like there's no change.
Shy.
But it's also interesting that they paint, like Adam was talking about class dynamics, and usually you would expect the alternative, right? You would expect someone from a upper class to kind of be more empowered. But it's really interesting that this movie painted Sita as coming from a rich, wealthy family and having no voice, no power at all, whereas Geeta, like her mom said that we'll just give her love and she'll grow to be fine. And that did seem to work. Like she did not need that wealth and that background. She did end up,
Yes, sir.
in a pretty good self-independent position.
I think there's a very interesting dynamic that 20 years later you wouldn't see in Bollywood films, maybe. I think after Keijo and stuff, it becomes a lot more aspirational for rich people. I think during this time, again, same time as Disco Dancer and stuff, there isn't the universal idea that, yeah, rich people are super nice and lovely, and it's like a Vanity Fair magazine ad, like the Keijo films. And so this was a cool time when they admitted that the landowners sucked and were really mean and not nice, and it's not a good position to be in, and that, love is perhaps more important.
Exactly.
It's a good message to have. I think if you did this 20 years later, you wouldn't have had that. I think it would have been more of a Prince and a Pauper scenario where, or even Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, where she's just with rich parents and it's really cool. And you don't
Exactly.
see anyone being rude or mean based off their position of power, which changes the whole movie. It's not as fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we're in the next part where they like switch sides, right?
Sorry.
Huh.
Wait.
Yep.
The scene with Geeta
Yep.
when they're doing the big performance
Yes.
for the first one reminded me a lot of Disco Dancer 2 because it's traveling gypsies. He did the same thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Like they're just playing in front of crowd. They go around from crowds to crowds, playing music, doing
Yeah.
tricks for the people and stuff. It's the exact same dynamic, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
I've seen those people as a kid. Like, yeah, I mean, they're everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you perform when you were doing it for crowds? Were you jumping on the pole or what?
Tight
I was
ropes.
climbing the pole and slipping the pole for like climbing 4 centimeter and slipping down 3 centimeters.
Wow, that's really cool. I would have paid money to see that. Nice
Half
job.
Geeta, half Sita.
I like that they don't talk about the name choices and they just name their daughters the exact same rhyming name.
Perhaps it was destiny.
Perhaps.
Perhaps it was fate. Yeah.
The gypsy characterizations and then their like their customs and things like it kind of very much if we like nitpick about this thing, it's not that well made. It's kind of written from a very like elite point of view.
Oh yeah.
But I'll give it a pass in this film because it's yeah, I mean it is what it is.
But they're nice to the gypsies, and again, Geeta is the hottest one.
yeah.
Like, I just want to but I want to say they don't look down on gypsies or
Yeah.
her, and I just want to say Hema's a great actor for portraying two people, and one seems very cool and attractive, and one doesn't, just based off her performance. I want to point that out.
Yeah,
Good job, Hema.
They don't look down upon the gypsies for sure. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Anyway, the switch up. So yeah, like, Sita is like getting abused, so she decides that life is not worth living anymore. So she decides to like off herself. And how does she do that? She like jumps off like this bridge into the river where I can't remember.
Raka. His name is Raka.
Raka, he's the street performer. He thought that was Geeta jumping, but then he realizes, oh, it must be Geeta offing herself because what we find out is like on Geeta's end, she was caught like slacking off, and then Raka kind of like calls her out for like not being at home or something, and he thought that like his okay, so Raka and Geeta's like dynamic is like they have like a very like love-hate relationship where they like always like quarrel with each other.
But they're lovers?
No,
they're
not
not
lovers.
lovers.
But Geeta's mom wants her to marry Raka,
Yeah.
and to her, that's an absurd idea. It almost seems more like a brotherly friend
Nice.
relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's also one of the reasons why she decided to run away. You see that kind of clash with her mom, and she like stands up and answers back. Like she's not going to give in to any of these demands or anything.
But from Raka's point of view, it was very absurd. Like so why he falls for Sita and not Geeta? Because he wanted like a Sushil Larky. Like he wanted calm version of
submissive
Geeta,
version, yeah.
like who would not bully him or
Both
something like
guys
that.
want Seeta.
Yeah.
No,
So-
he doesn't want. He didn't like. He wants no, Sita is the rich one.
No, you're right. He just wanted her to dress like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wants like a hotter version, like who is like outspoken and like. I mean, he falls for that.
Which is kind of ironic as well, because initially he says that he wants a traditional woman who
Yeah.
will cook and everything, but then he meets Geeta and he ends up falling for her.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like Sita, who's running away from the aunt and uncle, she jumps into the river, and Raka decides to save her, and when they manage to, he brings her to the poor family, and the entire community thinks that that's Geeta, and the mother goes to Sita and says like, hey, everything's gonna be all right, I'm gonna give you all the care you need. And I guess that's what makes Sita stay, because like she's surrounded by people who love her.
Yeah, this is the moment where you have to really suspend
Yeah, so
disbelief, because all it takes is her to say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" No, I'm not.
yeah, all you can say, yeah, she just has to say that, but no, she just gives in to like all the love.
Sure, I'm this person.
She was offing herself. Okay, now this feels like heaven to her.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone loving her, taking care of her. Doesn't matter the money or anything.
Yeah.
Like treating her like a human being. So this is heaven for her. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna just buy into like.
If
do
I
that.
was hanging out with any one of you and someone that looked like you but acted different and didn't know who they were came in, I wouldn't assume it was still you. I would ask more questions.
This is also funny, right? Because they're obviously so different, and Sita cannot do any of the tightrope moves and the circus moves that Geeta used to do. And the only person who knows what's happened here is the mom, like Geeta's mom, who is now Sita's mom also.
Yes.
And so she should have been able to connect the dots when her daughter comes back acting so drastically different.
Yeah.
But it never dawns on her until much later in the movie.
They just keep making up the excuse like, oh, she must have jumped in the river and knocked her head, and she just changed and has like a different viewpoint or whatever.
She has no idea who we are or what's going on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. She should have clocked it out. Like, you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, that's the suspension of disbelief that no one clocked her.
Yeah.
Not that she stayed back.
Yeah. So while that was happening, right, the aunt and uncle from the mansion, they were so worried that they could get in trouble, so they put out like a missing persons report to the police.
They'll not get the money.
So they will not get the money. That's like the main
Yeah.
point, yes. And then they put out a missing person report to quickly get her back. So and also like the auntie's brother suddenly flies to Delhi after trying to like attempt to rape her. How convenient. And then like while that was happening, Geeta was basically like Geeta the gypsy was basically, I have to clarify that in case anyone listening gets confused, because it's a little hard to follow. But Geeta the gypsy, she decides to like sort out this like issue with this kid where like his money was stolen by some gambler.
Yeah.
And then
Not
like
stolen, like he gambled and he lost the money, and this Geeta rightfully was like, why are you taking money from
Yeah.
kids? Like kids shouldn't allow kids to gamble.
so she takes the
Yeah.
gambler to the police station, and then the police inspector notices, hey, wait a minute, that's the missing person. That's Sita.
He has a framed photo of Sita's face, because that's what they gave to the police. They're like, find this woman, and he just pulls open his drawer, just sees a framed photo, and he's like, that's the exact same person. And like photograph technology back in the day, I don't know, you think it was that accurate?
And yeah, so he was like, you must be the missing persons. And like, I don't know, like Geeta kind of like, you get like this scene where she fights off the policeman, like
She's
in,
very
like, a
feisty.
very comical way. Yeah.
She's
That's a
very
beautiful
feisty.
scene.
She's like Bugs Bunny, and just is very anti-authority and is pranking them the whole time, and then does different comic pranks, and then she like ends up sitting on a fan at the top.
Yeah.
They called in the uncle and aunt, and then right away they didn't notice the change in the fact that Geeta is like always talking back to the aunt and uncle. She's always having like these quick retorts, like these comebacks.
Geeta basically starts calling the aunt fat.
Yeah.
You fat woman.
Is that what she said?
Yeah,
it's just like
Moti,
fat.
Moti.
Yeah, just to show like how much of a different character she is from Sita. But whatever, like the aunt and uncle, they didn't notice anything different. They decided to take Geeta back only like for a while, and then like I think Geeta like jumps on a tree branch, and then we get this scene where the aunt and uncle tells like a team of female hockey players. Does anyone
So
feel that?
random.
Yeah.
Was that weird? Like I thought that was like
It
the
was
most...
a young team too. They
Yeah.
were like young girls.
They were wearing like shorts. I'm like, where is this coming from? Is this normal back home?
They were like cricket players or something,
They're
right?
hockey players. Yeah, they're hockey players. They're just returning home from some camp or something, and they're like, "Oh, she's mental. Can you help me get
So
her?"
random.
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, let help this."
The girls immediately spring into action. They're like, "Go team, go!
Yeah.
Rescue service."
Yeah, they and then like so Geeta runs away from that hockey team, and then she bumps into the doctor, who previously was trying to like do the proposal with Seeta, but like the another thing that I noticed that all the cars in this movie, they never lock their doors. They never lock the trunks or doors.
Dude,
Do you
This
ever
is the
know?
70s.
Yeah, explain how she ends up with that.
She like goes to the back of the car.
His car is broken down.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
like,
and she's getting chased by police.
the
Right.
hockey team.
Oh, the hockey
The
team's
hockey-
chasing her.
Yes.
She sees the car broken down. She sneaks into the car and then just surprises him by like peering up the back seat. He freaks out.
And then like he like puts on the brakes, and then like it pushes them to hold together, like hug each other, and they get this like lovely like typical like stare in the face, fall in love moment.
They look at each other for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
She decides she's going to give up her entire previous life and not mention anything about it and not go back to her family or tell her mom. She says, I will stick with this guy forever because his eyes are pretty. And then they have to deal with the guy that hit the
And
back
he's
of their
rich.
car. And he's rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she just
None of this is accurate, by
That's
the way.
completely
None
accurate.
of this is accurate.
What did you
I
think?
don't know.
What did you think?
What
happened? Like,
happens that's different?
It's a coincidence on her part, right? Like, so she doesn't know that this is a suitor. He obviously recognizes her. He thinks that she's Seeta. But she knows the other alternative is that she's gonna end up in that aunt's house, and so she just rides along with him. She kind of asks him like, "Where are you going?" He tells her his destination, and she's just like, "Okay, then that's where I'm going as well." You know, so she's right now, her priority is to escape that aunt and figure out what the hell's going on. I don't think she fell in love with him. There is no romance initially besides that they lock eyes.
Later, it happens later.
Yeah, it happened. It kind of progresses over time, but
She stays with him and then never goes back home.
she does.
Wait. I'll explain
Okay.
that. I'll explain that in a bit. But like he brings her home, and then he gets like all these. Gets very pervy, right? Like, oh, you're wearing these gypsy clothes. Look at you. I don't know.
But yeah, because his parents are gonna come, and his parents are obviously very traditional. So he's just kind of like, "Look, you understand. My parents are here. Please go put on a sari." He doesn't do it in a kind of forceful way. I'd say it's just
You
kind
didn't-
of like,
Okay.
yeah, you know, just to show a good image. Because the
Okay.
last time they met you, you were wearing like Western fishnets, and so he just
Right.
wants to give them a good image, right?
And she's still playing along with that.
Yeah.
She's not like, what are you talking about? This isn't me.
But at this point, she's assumed the role of Seeta. She understands that. She understands there's a Seeta who looks like her, I'd say, because the
Yeah.
aunt comes after her and all. So right, I think she understands that there's something else going on
I don't know,
here.
I think we gotta like suspend our
Well, that's
disbelief
what I'm
a little
saying.
bit more.
I think
Okay.
she's playing along. I think
playing
she's like
along,
she's an
yeah.
adventurous person, and she's just
Exactly.
playing along. Like, let's see what happens. Like, mode.
The suspense is being disbelieving for a bigger.
Okay.
A lot
All right.
bigger.
The meter of suspension is broken.
So yeah, like so yeah, basically like they end up his place. He tells her to like dress more appropriately because the parents are coming over. Parents come over, and then like they were saying like, "Oh, now you look very appropriate." I thought there was some charade, like some shady shit going on back in the mansion, and that's when like Geeta revealed all like the evil aunt who like pretends to be nice in front of other people, but is like such a mean bitch when they're just alone.
But also just to note that, like, so Geeta experienced the aunt and uncle for about 5 or 10 minutes in the car ride. And that was enough for her to kind of connect the dots on what's happening and reveal that to the in-laws.
Yeah, and then
Very quickly figures out what's happening to an abused person.
And, you know, the parents warm up to Geeta, who thinks it's Seeta, right? And then we have this, like, the next scene, I remember now. The next scene is basically the doctor and Geeta trying to roller skate.
This is what right, which is their big love sex song.
Yeah, this is now when they fall in love. Also because the moment he sees her in a sari, he kind of falls in love with her. That's a funny.
Like, when he walked in, right?
Yeah.
With the blue outfit.
And she likes him.
Yeah, she just likes him. She just falls for him.
But that does not take center stage in the movie. Like I think you're trying to claim
Everything
Adam.
she does is for him.
No, you see that I disagree with that completely. Okay, anyway, the rollerblading
the
scene.
rollerblading scene is very ridiculous because you get like this musical montage, right, of them,
Which is A+. It's been so long since we've seen songs in a Bollywood movie. I was so happy to see this.
It's like they're just falling in love and everything, and then it ends with this like comedy scene where it's like she just cannot stop rollerblading and then starts bumping into people. Like there was a monkey and there was like an old man in a bike, and like you could literally just stop, but like she just keeps on rolling.
I have a lot of qualms with this scene because this woman can single-handedly take down the whole police station. She can walk on a tightrope. She can do all these cool circus tricks, right? But rollerblading is where her knowledge ends.
She's a street performer.
First, he has to teach her how to skate, and then when she finally does get the hang of it, she doesn't know how to fucking stop herself.
Yeah,
Just
that
like,
was
how?
no. When she's learned so quickly, I was like, yeah, bang on, because like she's like she does that for a job, like like those kind of gymnastic things. So she picked up rollers because learning rollerblading is not that easy, right?
And those
she
streets, those Indian streets, those rocky streets are very difficult.
Hey, they start like off road first, right? Not even on the like a pitch asphalt street.
Yeah.
Like which in the mountains is nicer, I can understand, but like they start off road. Like off-road roller skating. Yeah. So, but when she picked up very quickly, I was like, yeah, that's where her skill is, like to learning. But then somehow she cannot stop herself. That was like, oh, what the?
Yeah. Initially, I thought she was pretending, like she knows how to rollerblade. She was just trying to make him feel useful as a man.
Seeta wouldn't know how to stop. Seeta would eat shit for 5 minutes. It's a really long live action cartoon segment.
Yeah, right.
It is a straight up Looney Tunes like Bugs Bunny thing where she's rolling down. There's two guys carrying a big stick, and then she grabs the stick, and then she has to spin around so she doesn't hit people. It's a very, very long Looney Tunes scene.
Yeah, but in the end, she gets captured.
She bumps into all these people, and the police manage to just like capture all the commotion. So they send her back to the mansion where she meets like the entire evil family. And it's at that point that she realizes like there's something messed up going on, right? She meets the grandmother, and basically she can tell that right from the get-go that the grandmother is like being abused.
She's like a prisoner of war.
Like the servants tell her like, oh, because they still think that that Geeta is Seeta, right? They said that ever since Seeta ran away from home, the aunt has been taking it out on the grandmother. And that's when Geeta realizes, you know what? I'm going to assume the position of Seeta and fight this injustice and stand up for the grandmother, stand up to this aunt. And we gotta suspend our disbelief.
Sure.
Like, let's just take up this role right now.
Think about if you're in that position and you wanted to help the grandma, what would you do? Would it be assuming the role of Seeta?
It worked.
Or would you report it to someone?
That was my favorite part as a kid, and even now. So, like when I was a kid, like I used to watch this film, but never watched the film in its entirety. Like like
classic Killy maneuver.
I mean, I used to watch like whenever it used to be on TV a lot, and then like depends on like what I'm doing and what time of the day I'm starting to watch. I would watch like part of the film, but when I watched this film this time, I realized that I have to watch the whole thing at some point. And then so this was the part that was like most enticing to me when Geeta takes up the role of Seeta in the house, and then like bullies back every single one of them. And then I love that part of the film. And
It's your wet dream. You're like, I want to treat my family members like this. I want to.
Yeah,
there we go.
So yeah, like Geeta assumes the position of Seeta, and straight off, like she gets abused by the aunt. The aunt slaps her a lot, but she's not Seeta, right? Geeta wouldn't take that shit. So what does Geeta do? She like actually fights back, and you get like this really, like I would say, satisfying scene where she slaps the aunt back, and basically like bosses her around and orders her to like cook food, make some dinner. She even tells the bratty daughter to like, clean the house, taking over the situation, basically. Yes.
I love the way that this was framed in the movie because usually, even if a woman is going to try to fight back against like these oppressive family obligations, they would try to portray it in a more noble way. You do it in a dignified way. Maybe you don't use violence, right? You kind of find another route. But
she doesn't go on a hunger strike or anything.
Right. But this movie very much just kind of shows like, yeah, if people are physically bullying you, you just got to fucking like beat the shit out of them back, And that was effective in the movie. And I think that was quite radical for that time.
Super satisfying.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not win them over. She's not clever. She just physically hurts them like they physically hurt her, and the leverage instantly changes.
Yeah. And then like, they suddenly like the dynamic suddenly changed. The aunt is finally like being afraid of her, and then she was saying like, "Oh, wait till my brother gets back, and then he'll teach her a lesson." And then he did come back, right? He did. The pervy uncle did come back, where he's just like, "Oh, you forgot your place," and he started like taking off his belt, and she also fights back. Like she manages to like restrain him and then get the belt from him and then start whipping him.
Oh, that was such a satisfying scene. And it went on for a while.
Yeah, it went on for a while.
He was like Passion of the Christ.
At this point, the Geeta becomes like unbeatable hero trope of Bollywood films.
Already,
The hero cannot be touched. Geeta is the hero here. Like she, I mean, it's the like unbeatable person. Like no one can take over her.
If you had a fighting game, it would be the disco dancer guy with his guitar slashing her, and then she would have a belt doing range attacks against him.
Very whip-like. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna stop there for the Geeta section, right, and then go back to the Seeta. I think like all her parts are just so boring. Like I don't think she really develops in any meaningful way. She just like turns to the temple and like starts praying. Raka basically like doesn't like this change, right? And when they went to like this street show to perform, Seeta couldn't perform.
She didn't even know she was performing.
Yeah, she
because
didn't even know.
It's not Geeta, and they still can't figure that out. She's sitting there being like, "What? I'm supposed to do what?" And he's like, "Damn you, you're spoiled now."
Yeah.
No, Raka actually likes the change. That was a big problem for me. Like, Raka actually starts liking her because of the change, but he doesn't like the fact that he's not earning money for him anymore.
Yeah, so like they get beaten up for not being able to perform by the mob, right? And then like you have this scene where like Raka's clothes are like torn apart, and then Seeta just like, "Here, let me fix it for you." And then she starts like sewing up his shirt, and then you get like Raka's friend who's just like this boy. He says like once the woman learns tailoring, she no longer has unfeminine qualities.
Like so true. Yeah. Men do not make clothes.
Actually, it was like once she starts sewing, she stops walking on the rope, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So the translation was unfeminine quality. I mean,
yeah, that was strange.
So when I read that, I took it as like, oh, now she's a woman. I'm finally in love.
But that's the sense. That's the sense.
I never wanted to fuck this woman until she acted like my mom.
Oh yeah.
But Raka and the boy does like in one line they say that she's lost a fire in her. So they're kind of aware that she's no longer the same. So I feel like he misses that fire of Geeta, but at the same time, there's this now feminine woman who's showing him love, and he's also a bit of an alcoholic, and she like kind of gives him that care. And of course, then I think that's what makes him fall for her.
He has a whole alcoholic song.
Yeah, I was just gonna get to that. Like, there's this weird like quick subplot where like Raka is like some alcoholic, and like he only turns to alcohol because he's got no family. He's poor, and you get the scene you get like this musical scene where he sings his sorrow out, and then he ends up back at home where like Seeta tells him, "You gotta quit alcohol because it will make a difference." You get this shot where like she's looking at him, and he looks at her loving face, and it convinces him to like quit alcohol the next day.
addiction is cured. He goes to a temple early in the morning and he's like, I'm never gonna drink again. And she overhears the entire thing.
I keep telling people if more women learn how to sew, less men would be alcoholics. And I wish more people would listen to me about this.
I mean, I don't even know why AA exists, you know? Like, just
no,
get yourself a
just
Seeta.
get more women into sewing mills.
Yeah, that's it. So that's happened. No, that was happened. So we go back. Okay, now I'm going back to the Geeta part. You get this scene where like the uncle was abusing the elderly servant. And then, like, I call this scene the ping pong apology scene because you have, like, Geeta playing ping pong. She, like, has this ping pong paddle and she, like, I shit you not, the camera work is so cool. She's just, like, dribbling the ball. Like,
she's a great actor. She is so intimidating with a ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
She's just super scary. And even when she's boring as Seeta, it's because she's playing that role.
Yeah.
You know, this actor is really good.
Yeah, I would really hope that if when men come to watch the ping pong show in Thailand, they just see someone like Geeta
Whipping them with a
ping pong
belt
ball.
and threatening them.
It's a wholly different ping pong show.
I'll go watch
I would
that.
pay for that
Yeah,
one.
I'll go. Yeah, pretty good. So basically, like, she kicks the guy down and then tells him to, like, hey, apologize to the elderly servant. And you know what? Why don't you go down to the market and get me some, get us some food, some dinner. And that's when, like, the guy goes to the market and then he notices one thing. Seeta is actually in the market too. And that's when he gets, like, really suspicious. Like, hey, something's weird. Something's going on here, right?
The market's so funny though, because he's in there like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
He's never been to a market before. And he's like, what vegetables are these? And he like doesn't know what anything is. He doesn't know what prices are. The merchants are all making fun of him. I love that. Because yeah, they're super useless people.
Yeah.
He can't do shit. But yeah, he sees Seeta.
He sees Seeta and then, like, Seeta runs away, going to Raka for some comfort. And that's when Raka decides, you know what? I'm going to marry you. Right? That's what happens, right? He's like, he actually proposes to Seeta, like, yeah, I'm going to marry you. Meanwhile, while that's happening, like, the doctor also proposed to he said, I've decided that I want to marry Seeta, who's Geeta.
Who still hasn't gone back to her family. This is just my one thing. She's living in this house. She's assumed the role as Seeta. She's living with this family. She's falling in love with this guy. They've already had the sex song. And she just doesn't, check in with her mom or Raka. Hey, I'm still alive. Hey, you might be wondering where I am. I've been gone for weeks now or something.
She's definitely a woman on a mission at this point, right? And and she explicitly says that several times in the movie that she's like dedicated to fighting injustice.
She's a little too committed to the bit. I would maybe send a messenger over, just say, hey guys, just so you know, I'm liberating this twin I have or something. I would just tell them maybe. I don't know.
It was the
No
70s.
empathy, no
Just
sympathy.
your mom,
for
you
her
disappear, and your mom and
Right.
your coworker who can't do anything without you is just stranded.
Oh, this is Geeta, and she's on a mission. I will
You
defend
keep
her.
saying that like that changes her behavior.
Because
You can do both.
Well, Nikki has already said you need to suspend some level of disbelief here. It's a movie, right? They're just both in their roles at this point.
That's for the
This is
plot.
where it's losing-
That bit is totally for the plot. For everyone to like realize later. If she says that, they had to write in a more intelligent way, I
It's
guess.
also the 1970s. There's no such thing as sending like an Instagram message or WhatsApp, like, "Ma, I'm here. I'll be back in a week."
They're
Like, you know.
literally in the same city, I guess.
Dude, in terms of logic, 1970s, we have The Godfather, man.
They share the
have
same
letters.
market. They're not that far. They share the same market.
Yeah, they went to
yeah.
the same market. She knows. She doesn't have brain damage. She knows where her house is. She never fell. She never went into a river. Her house is like there. She has complete memory of everything going on.
Okay, I'm deducting point from Geeta
Yeah.
for that bit.
Yeah,
okay.
actually, I
move
think
on.
I will too.
Like it's
Oh,
kind of
God.
weird.
It's Bollywood.
She's hot, but come on.
She's not saying, okay, I'm deducting point. This is her one-off side
Yeah.
that she
Just be
doesn't
nicer
care about
her
her
mom.
mother.
She's setting up to abusers, great, but she's not checking in with her mom.
Yeah.
No, terrible
That's really
woman.
funny.
Be nice
Not
to your
terrible.
mom.
There's just the one bad side.
Okay, so both of them are getting their hand in marriage. Their hand in marriage, right? And then, like, meanwhile, the pervy uncle, I don't know what he does for a living, but apparently he has a lot of henchmen.
That's the point.
He's like a mobster.
He's a rich parasite, and the movie does a very good job showing how useless and rapey they are.
Yeah.
So basically, he doesn't realize that there's something going on, and then he he puts the two and two together that the Seeta living in the mansion is not Seeta. So he tells his henchmen to kidnap the real Seeta. Okay, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Like Seeta was like at a temple, and then she was helping to this elderly dude who turns out to be a kidnapper, and they basically like threaten her with a knife and then put her in a car. So while that's happening, right, Geeta gets all depressed that, you know, she's about to get married, but she's not who the doctor thinks she is. And so you get like...
Quit just... Sorry to harp on this.
Oh my goodness.
No. But what is the plan? Like, I get suspension of disbelief, but what is the plan? She's going to help the grandmother by marrying this dude? Like, she does like him, and she's just gonna marry him?
Ooh.
Yeah.
No,
Geeta.
Oh, yeah.
The doctor.
Like, that's the plan. I don't know what the end game is here.
Yeah, Geeta just going with the flow, I guess.
Like, really in a huge way.
I think it's so funny because she doesn't just say, I am not the woman you're about to marry, but
because she's also in love with the doctor.
That's what I'm saying.
She comes down in the way she expressed it is that she comes down in this really cool 70s outfit.
She's so pretty.
With alcohol, and then like sings a song about like
being drunk. Basically.
Okay, no,
second drunk song of the movie.
Okay. She's drunk because the doctor is an abusive piece of shit. Here, we have to talk about that.
Yeah, that was like the one red flag in the movie for me. I love the movie besides that.
Not one, like he has done many things. At first he's like Western women are bad, they don't have value system. First red flag. That is red flag, and this is like pure violence. Like, he just slaps, and he says that, do you think like I will marry someone like you who doesn't have like, you know, like who comes from this low class family and then street performer, and did he really think that I'll marry someone like you, and slaps her?
That was a dream sequence.
Slaps her.
That was a dream sequence.
It was a dream sequence. It was a dream sequence. She was actually imagining how he would react.
Wait, so he didn't really slap her?
No. There is okay, you guys are getting it all mixed up. I remember this, okay? So basically she imagines his reaction when she reveals that she's gonna be a gypsy. And the scene where he says, do you think I'm going to marry a gypsy woman like you? He slaps her, and then you see the next shot. She wakes up and says, "Oh."
But in the real scene, he also slaps her.
So when she comes, that doesn't cancel anything that he's done, right? So when she comes down and acts all like drunk and sings her song, when she's done singing the song, he slaps her again.
He doesn't say anything, but he just slaps her, and then she ends up like on her grandma's knee or something like that.
But the point is,
it just cuts.
She didn't break off the marriage when he slapped her initially, because that was a dream.
Yes. My point is that he did slap her.
He still slapped her anyway.
In reality.
Afterwards.
And then they still end up together. Spoiler
but she
alert.
did the classic woman thing of being mad to a guy in a dream and taking it out on him in real life.
But when did she take it out on him in real life?
By being drunk and ruining the marriage.
Yeah. She did.
She did do that. I think she was not able to go through the wedding without him knowing that she's really Geeta. She's not Seeta, right? So she put on this performance.
The plan was stupid. She has to call this off.
Right.
Well, I just don't know why she didn't just straight up said, "Hey, I'm not who you think."
Before we get married. Everyone gathers for the marriage, and she just gets hammered and sings about being drunk the whole time.
Okay, being all powerful and like unbeatable comes with some downside. Number one, you don't check up on your mother. Number two,
or coworker.
You're terrible at conversation. But you can fight, and I mean, everyone has pros and cons. Like no.
Yeah, but that slap from the guy was handled a bit too lightly from the movie.
Yeah. I think so too. Actually.
And also for Geeta's character, like she's supposed to be such a brave, fiery character that takes no shit from anyone, and to think that she would let that go is a bit unbelievable.
I don't think the slapping is okay, but I do think what they're trying to show is how reprehensible her drunk song was. Because they're trying to expand that she was just being a hot mess. And that's why she wasn't mad that he hit her, even though it's bad. It's an admission of guilt that she crashed this whole party. You know?
And then, after he slaps her, the doctor is like asking her, what is going on? Why are you doing this? And then
why? We all want to know.
Before she answers, for whatever reason, the poor family comes in, and then you get Raka coming in. He said, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to marry me? And before they can get any answers, the police comes in, and then tells Geeta that, okay, so you're not the real Seeta, so we're gonna like arrest you for being a fraud.
Yes.
And then they bring her to jail. And once they drag her ass back to jail, Geeta's mom sees like, because everyone is in this mansion now, Geeta's mom sees like the family portrait of the real parents, and then she gets like all this flashback about how like, oh, I
kidnapped a kid.
I kidnapped a kid, and basically like she faints, typical Bollywood style. She faints in the typical Bollywood style, and then she tells Raka that, hey, yeah, this is the truth. Geeta is, I kidnapped Geeta basically, and then like she tells Raka how like, this about the switch up. Seeta is Geeta, Geeta is Seeta, and all that, and then Raka vows to like go and save the both of them. Meanwhile, while that's happening, I don't know what the end goal is here, but the pervy uncle manages to kidnap Seeta, and then he's going to take her hand in marriage instead. Which I don't know what the end goal is. Like, how would that have worked out?
I think because how patriarchal their Seeta Geeta's father was, like they gave the like norms of the transfer of properties, like the uncles and aunt take care of her until she's married to someone, and when she's married to someone, I think the what is the term, like right of
inheritance?
No, not inheritance,
the
like,
estate or something.
Yeah, like they would be the caretaker of caretaker of Seeta, and so eventually they will have actually the control of the money. So he wants to marry Seeta, on whom like he always had this lusty eyes, and then he just wants the money as well. Like he's gonna get the wealth as well. So he's trying to marry Seeta.
They show the aunt and the uncle as physically and financially just exploiting the shit out of Seeta.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Okay, so we're in the prison scene where like Raka is trying to rescue the both of them, and basically like I guess like the pervy uncle is going to like marry Seeta in prison. I don't know. Okay, just go figure.
I was fine with that part.
Go figure. But basically, it culminates in a scene where both men, the doctor and Raka, they come in to rescue both of their women, and you get like suddenly the movie just turns into like this bombastic action movie. Like the actions, they go all out with the action scene. They really go all out. Like you have people jumping around, crashing into like objects, and they're like doing all these acrobatics and doing all these Geeta is like doing all the swinging move, kicking people around. I thought that whole segment is amazing.
Yeah, it was beautifully shot.
It was amazing. And I think it's like a taste of things to come for Sholay, maybe. And the way I see it, that's how I think.
Good action.
Yeah, so basically, like you have this like ultimate fight scene that ends up with Geeta doing a sword fight with the uncle, and she basically like wins, and the police comes in and arrests everyone. I'm just wrapping this up really quickly because that's just how the movie is like. Like the police come in, they arrest everybody, and then you get like this weird, I don't know what is it, whether they run out of money or like they didn't have time to film it or whatever, but you get like this marriage scene, but it's like done in like screenshot, like
it's a slideshow.
It's like slideshow. It was weird. Like
it's a PowerPoint presentation of their marriage. You're like, what the fuck?
What's going on? And then like you see the auntie smiling and like everybody's happy with each other now. And like we don't know that, right? Like they just
it's so weird to have a almost 3-hour movie where they're just quickly going through the marriage, which is usually the most important part.
Yeah.
Like what did you feel you needed to focus on more?
Yeah, it was done in 2 minutes, the final wrap up, like quite literally. And we see that Geeta marries
the doctor, right?
Yeah.
They didn't go back to their respective the circles. They just married. Like Geeta marries the doctor, Seeta marries Raka.
It just reminds me of when you're writing like a letter to someone and then you get near the end of the card and then you have to kind of shrink the end of birthday so it fits within the card. Like this is what the ending felt like, where they just hit 3 hours and they're just like cramming it in.
And then the end scene is like you have this. God damn it! It's not even funny, Winnie. It's like both men are walking to the bedrooms where their brides, the newlywed brides, are waiting in bed.
And then while they're doing that, they're talking about what is the expectation for the first night. Do they have to consummate the marriage or something?
Or some shit. And then like they were like, you get like this. I know it's done for laughs. It's a comedy bit. You can tell from the musical cues, but basically, it's like the men basically get confused which twin they're with. And then like they end up in the wrong room
Multiple times.
And I don't even know what the point of that whole scene is. Like, if they made that mistake once, okay, I get it. But they made the mistake of switching up like twice or so.
So I think the twins were also just having a laugh. They're just
I
like
think
pulling
the
the leg.
twins are playing them.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
twins are playing them, like, pretending like to be each other. So that's the change. Maybe that's the only character arc Sita is showing, that like she can
Right.
pretend like
God.
Geeta and like fool her husband or brother-in-law.
They have sex and get pregnant. They're like, just kidding, I was Geeta. He's like, damn it.
And then that's the end of the movie. They live happily ever after. It's just
Yeah.
The end of the
Really?
movie is, these two guys that weren't attracted to these women initially, then were because they changed personalities. At the end of the day, when it came to having sex with them, could not tell them apart. I don't know what that says. I have nothing to take away from that.
I mean, if their parents, their own family couldn't tell them apart, I think it's lost hope.
I was just really disappointed how quickly they wrapped things up, because like
Yeah.
they didn't resolve anything with the aunt, which I would have loved some closure.
I'm gonna
Right?
guess this is like just a fairy tale reversal, right? Where now the aunt is the one making tea and being the slave.
Yeah.
Yeah, the aunt came to the right path or something like that.
And
Yeah.
then you don't even have a scene where like the Geeta's mom is like telling Sita, "Hey, I took your sister away from you at birth." We don't even have anything like that.
There's no reconciliation.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Nothing.
upset.
Nothing like that. I was a little disappointed that they wrapped up everything with a slideshow.
You get to the end part where one of the dudes has sex with the fat ant.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez.
He goes into the third door.
It's like the deleted scene. It's like, yeah.
He turns on the light as the fat ant
Who,
just
her brother?
smiling.
No, brother is in jail.
Yeah. But like, you don't even get a
He
quick...
has sex with the brother.
That's gross.
Okay, homophobe.
Yeah, that's Seeta and Geeta. Then, so I have a question. Like, what was so appealing to the Russians about this movie?
It's the class conflict.
Okay.
It's because it was a bunch of lower class people fighting the upper class people.
Okay.
And it was, like putting gypsies on the same plane, and also showing, because they're twins, it does break apart the kind of framework of class, hereditary class. If you have two people born from the same parents, grow up in different classes and have different coded behavior and stuff, like that does go a long way in dispelling kind of caste myths. So I can see why it did really well in Russia. It makes sense.
But I'd say this movie is like it's the proper Bollywood movie that we've watched in a long time. We haven't kind of gotten this mixture of Bollywood where there's like action, romance, comedy, family drama, songs all in one.
Yeah.
So it definitely fits the trope. I loved it.
I
I'd give
missed
a
it.
10
I
out of
want
10.
more normal Bollywood films. I love this. I need more songs.
I'm the opposite, guys.
You didn't like
I
it?
love the more creative films, like the more like gritty, realistic kind of movie. I'm not into the whole like. I'm not like this. I wouldn't lean towards this mainstream style. I don't know. I want to call it mainstream.
We'll balance it out as we go along the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the past few episodes we've just
But
chosen
we
short
watched
movies.
Bajrangi Bhaijaan, which was like full on Bollywood.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah,
song,
yeah.
music, drama.
This is also the oldest Bollywood movie we've watched ever,
old.
like 1972.
Is it older than even Disco Dancer?
Disco Dance was 80s.
80, yeah, actually,
so
that's
this
true.
is
Wow.
72. This is before Sholay, pre-Sholay, right?
Looks
It's-
well better made than Disco Dancer somehow.
Well,
It was quite well
this
made.
good
I was
answer had
surprised.
like no budget.
True.
But this-
It's just budget issues. Yeah.
This film was made. The director was 25. His second film, and then after this, he made Sholay. So
Yeah.
really strong. I think the acting was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hema was fantastic. Like I said, playing both roles was super compelling, and they felt like very distinct characters. I never confused. I was better than their mom. I didn't confuse them. Like it was very clear who was who. I was attracted to one. I was not attracted to the other, purely based on personality, performance, and gypsy clothing. So good job with that. And I thought the guys were really fun too. Raka was very compelling, I thought.
Yeah. I think this is like, I was surprised by how female centered this movie was, especially for 1972. Like, I wouldn't have expected to see a woman being the hero. Like she was literally the hero of the movie. All the male actors were just kind of like supporting characters playing their love interest. And so you kind of see them breaking stereotypes. You see them like questioning female obedience. Like Seeta, the character, I think is done that way, almost to show the audience that being this ideal submissive woman that fits the stereotype of a good woman in India is actually going to breed exploitation. You're not going to find any way out. Being someone loud and aggressive and bold like Geeta is actually the solution. So I was surprised to kind of see these messages being promoted in Bollywood like 50 years ago. I found it a very empowering film, and I think that resonated with the audience. You kind of see, we all loved Geeta. The audience at the time loved Geeta as well. So I think that you also see this craving from Bollywood audiences for a more female hero, like a strong, empowered female lead. And this movie gives that.
Yeah.
And not just that, it is an inversion of, a Dickens type tale, because usually the person born into the rich family is the lucky one.
Exactly.
And they're not.
Yeah.
Like this one is, hey, you were lucky being born in the traveling gypsy family because love is more important. And that's number one, very good to kind of quiet the masses who maybe are agitating to like become upper class and telling them, hey, it's not that great. But it's also a much better message of, the importance of like loving family relationships above all else, and how money can kind of destroy those relationships. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the love triangle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there is a funny backstory to this movie, I'd say, that kind of relates to the plot of the movie a little bit. Well, of course, there's only one Hema. There's no Geeta and Seeta, right? It's just her. But behind the scenes, there was also apparently a love triangle between her, the doctor, who was played by Sanjeev Kumar, and the other one.
Raka,
Raka, right. Dharminder. Okay, Dharminder. So Sanjeev Kumar actually proposed to Hema 1 year after this movie was filmed in 1973, but she declined it. And a few years later, she married Dharminder.
Whoa. And they were all in Sholay together too?
So that actually made casting for Sholay more difficult because he wanted all three of them there. But then he decided that maybe he cannot cast Sanjeev Kumar. Maybe he'll just cast only Hema and Dharminder together. But then he went back to Sanjeev and was like, we really need you for this role. But it almost affected production, where it was difficult to have all three of them together because of this love triangle. But then they all still come back and play together in the movie. But obviously in the movie, we'll see Hema plays the love interest of Dharminder, who she ends up marrying in 1980. So they actually got married.
That's
also.
real love.
Yeah, and they're still together till today.
Wow.
But what makes it the real love part is funny because Dharminder already has a wife. He was already married to another woman. They have their sons together, Bobby Deol, Sunny Deol, big Bollywood actors also, like massive. And he did not want to get divorced to his first wife in order to marry Hema. And so there's a lot of allegations that they converted to Islam so that they could get married, so that he could have a second wife. Because under the Hindu act of marriage, Hindu men cannot have two wives, but that's allowed in Islam.
Oh my God.
And
That's
so
wild.
this theory has prevailed for quite a while. Now they're both politically active, Hema and Dharminder. They're both like BJP activists, but their religion comes into question quite often because apparently they changed their names as well when they converted to Islam to marry each other.
They're in BJP, but they're Islamic?
Because they're technically Hindus. I think they were just trying to look for a loophole. But this has never been confirmed. They will not confirm anything. But this theory has been going on for, I'd say, decades now.
Is she still the second wife?
Technically, yeah.
Is that?
To the knowledge of the public, yeah.
That is so wild.
What a crazy
fuck,
on-set story. That's nuts.
Yeah.
In Fast and Furious 2, there was a stunt woman who was having sex with Paul Walker. Who's the other guy? The black guy in that?
Tyrese Gibson.
She was having sex with Paul Walker and Tyrese Gibson at the same time. I don't know, pretty baller of her. That's like, she didn't marry anyone, but she was just everyone was cool with it. They were just both fucking the same stunt woman. And
sex.
Seems good for her. Seems like it was fun.
But this just makes me wonder what it was like shooting that scene in the end where they're like confused between the two twins and they both love her at the same time.
That's
pretty awesome. Like given the plot of the film. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, I had no idea of this this story.
That's so spicy.
Right.
Page 3 material.
That movie must have been so messy. Because she's playing the love interest for both.
Yeah.
And that's intense.
Yeah, I wonder what made her choose Dharminder not over Sanjeev Kumar.
Well, one's an alcoholic and one's a nice doctor.
Well, she chose alcoholic.
Oh no! Oh, Dharminder was the
The
alcoholic.
alcoholic.
Ah.
Yeah, it's the alcoholic.
Oh, okay, he's more handsome.
He is more handsome.
She
I'd
used
say.
to work with her,
And
him,
fat.
work with him on the same trade. Like
That's
you
true.
know, like yeah.
Oh yeah, they walk tight
Association.
ropes together. The moment you walk on a tightrope with someone,
Staircase moment.
The doctor, the laughing doctor. I don't know.
The first 5 minutes. Nikki's like, "What the fuck is this twist?"
For me, staircase moments is outside of the film. Realizing that the slap scene is actually a dream sequence, not a real,
Oh, no.
real thing.
That
Well, that's not outside the film. That's in the
No,
film.
but like the moment is outside of the film.
Right.
For you, your
Yeah, for
personal
me,
staircase moment.
This personal a film staircase moment. Ah,
I think I had a staircase moment when he was literally on the staircase. I think Geeta starts slashing the
Yeah.
the uncle who has tried to rape her, and like he starts rolling down the stairs, and I was just
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, is he about to die? Is this gonna
no,
happen?"
he was not a pregnant woman. That's why he didn't die.
Mine was just when she looks at him in the car, when Geeta looks at him in the car and is immediately, yep, I'm going to imprint myself on him and just commit my life to him. That
Oh
was
my
surprising,
gosh.
which is what happened in It's Fact. Dance floor clause, musical number.
There was a lot.
Finally.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Yeah, there
and
was a
all
lot.
pretty good, like very well choreographed.
I really like them.
Mm.
The love song with Geeta. Is it with Geeta and the doctor where they're
Yeah.
singing, they're whistling with each other
The
in the
rollerblading
car?
one?
That one?
Or the car.
I like
one.
that song a lot.
I like the one when she's drunk and performing
Yeah,
at
I
her
like that one
wedding.
too.
Yeah,
That
and
one was
she's
pretty good too.
the whole time she's dancing and moving around quite a lot, and she's holding to this glass of wine or something of alcohol, and it never spills.
It was the outfit that she was wearing. I thought she was very very hot.
That's why I like the song too. Family Feud, all of it.
All of
of
it,
it.
right? Yeah. all of
Yeah.
it.
Wow, yeah.
All of it.
Maybe it's the guy trying to rape his niece-in-law and then marry her later is perhaps
that's fucked.
one of the strongest
Yeah.
ones.
And the aunt just being a
Or
complete bitch.
stealing someone baby and raising that as their own,
Or
as your
that.
own.
Yeah, it's full of them.
Being an aunt that's just pure evil and just kind of hating everyone.
I found out that the aunt is actually half Irish, half Indian.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
I
great.
Is that why
looked it
she
up.
was like drunk the whole movie?
Wow.
I don't know, but it was just nice to know that she was like half white. Looking, I don't know. I just like
She acted the most like cartoonishly Indian.
Yeah.
very theatrical.
Very. From the makeup, like the eyeliner was so bold and winged that you can
Yeah.
tell she's supposed to look like a villain.
But it's great. I couldn't stop looking at her. She makes facial expressions the
Yeah.
entire time. She does like
Yeah.
Popeye cartoon faces the whole time. It's super fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, her looks like this not street theater, like those exaggerated village theater.
Yeah.
Makeup.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, like you know, like exaggerated
Yeah.
evilness on her face.
A street clown.
Yeah,
Spice level, regional
was
heat check.
pretty. I don't know.
Where was it even? Do you know?
I think it's Mumbai. I guess it's Mumbai because everyone is speaking Hindi, and the other city he flies to is Delhi.
Yeah.
So maybe it's Mumbai. I don't know.
And people get separated at birth very often there, or
I have no idea.
Have you found your birth parents yet, Kelly?
I didn't grow up there. Maybe like my parents were traveling like long farther away.
What a clean pregnancy, by the way. It would just
No
to just
blood,
to
nothing,
pull
yeah.
over in a car, kind of pass out, not remember what you did, and then some villagers deliver your baby to you. Really clean.
yeah, not even noticing it was twins.
You don't even
Right.
need an alcoholic doctor to help you.
I'm still. Who was that doctor? He like laughing nonstop. That was a weird ass cameo. I just feel weird that it began like the movie just begins like in media res.
Full
Like,
on.
like there's no opening sequence, nothing. It just jumps right into it.
I love that. I was like, right on, let's go. I was
Yeah,
like, where
yeah.
could the 3 hours take us? And it's pretty much nowhere. It's like a week of events, and then it crams that in the end.
Why do you think like he's a big actor, right? Okay,
It's like Adam Sandler coming in as the doctor cameo, or it's like Ben Stiller and Happy Gilmore as like the nurse
Exactly.
resident.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
I think if you watch Bollywood, you'd probably clock it and kind of get on with it and be like, oh, this is a good introduction to the movie.
It's like those
Comic relief.
three Thai guy comic actors that are in
Uh-huh.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom,
Yeah, so his name is Arsani. Like he's a very popular comic actor. So why do I think like he has had this studio deal to have been like certain number of films, and then like this is the way they found out, and then they told the writer, and I know like you have to put his character somehow, and they didn't find any other avenue, so they just put like in a cameo role at the beginning.
Yo, first 5 minutes, you get the audience on board.
Yeah.
It works.
It's the
You
hook.
know,
It's the hook.
yeah,
It's the hook to the film.
yeah, it works. What's the moral?
Stand up for yourself.
Exactly. Like that's basically it. I think this movie has a lot of good messages going for it. You know, like don't silence yourself. Beat up people who beat you. Fight for injustice. Money is not everything. Sometimes love does conquer. Yeah, there's a lot you can take from this.
Also, steal twins at birth.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
important.
Don't
that
ask.
was
They
the
probably were going to
foundation.
give you the other one anyway.
Well, what about don't check up on your mother when you're on a mission?
What about get married to any guy with a broken car?
God.
Yeah, well, she's still married someone who slapped her, which kind of takes away from the power of the Geeta character, in my opinion.
But it gives
She was
me like
drunk.
relief knowing that she can slap him back. If
Yeah,
he
yeah,
ever
I think she could probably kill
raises
him
her
in
hand.
1 second.
I do think that's nice too. They don't try to quiet her at the end. Like he likes her because she's like that.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Geeta. She's not a problem. Even if you watch, Sound of Music, they all kind of admonish the main nun because she's too uppity or whatever. But this one, they all always encourage her, which is pretty cool.
I think this movie is basically like, be like Geeta, don't be like Seeta. You'll get fucked, you'll get walked over. But if you fight for yourself, you have a voice, you'll be able to... Because she changed around her whole life, the whole situation of Seeta in one day, just by talking and hitting them.
Yeah.
There was nothing radical about
Yeah.
it, right? It's just a change in attitude.
Yeah.
Not circumstantial at all. So, yeah.
I don't
Very empowering.
know how realistic that would be. Like watching the movie, because again, it's not like Seeta probably didn't try early on and that was extinguished from her. It takes an outsider to kind of come in without that baggage to boss everyone around. She doesn't know who the fat aunt is.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any PTSD trauma.
Yeah.
I do think it's easier.
For sure, for sure.
So yeah, stick up for yourself, yell at your aunt, tell her she's fat, don't take any shit from your family. People will love you.
Yeah. And to Bollywood, make more movies like this was obviously a big hit. It resonated with the audience, probably both men and women. So obviously there's a craving for this. But I think
No,
after
in
that, it was like
1972,
Sholay.
too woke. Stop putting with feminine heroes in my shit.
But I do wonder if that's why it was a bigger hit in Russia. Like, they actually sold more movie tickets in Russia as opposed to India. So like over 50
it?
million in
Wow.
Russia and 30
Wow.
million. It generated
impressive.
more money through Russia than India.
I mean, Disco Dancer was also a hit. I mean, yeah, I can see I see the commonality between these two. Yeah, but there were films in Bollywood. I remember like seeing a little bit of it where women are like the central character and very powerful and taking the lead
Yeah.
of defeating the evil.
I think
When did it end?
Kejo.
I think so.
But I think in
Around
the
that time.
70s, it was like Sholay, Amitabh Bachchan, kind of the rise of him. So there were a lot of
Yeah.
movies about like angry men fighting the system, right? Fighting corruption, the police, like these outsiders. And I think this was like also the same act of rebellion that was going on in the 70s, but from a woman's perspective. And so
Yeah.
it comes more like fighting domestic
Yeah,
pressures, not
exactly.
systemic pressures, right? So you see that public sphere, private sphere,
Exactly.
that is different in the
Yeah.
battles.
Yeah, she's not a submissive person, but she's the idol in this movie. She's who you're supposed to look up to. I would love if like my daughter saw this and had this as a role model.
Exactly. Yeah, so 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, loved it. I'm excited for Sholay. I like old Bollywood films.
Even though it's 3 hours long.
No, I give it a 3, guys. What the
Oh
hell?
my gosh.
like it didn't resolve very well. I just didn't like how it wrapped up so easily.
I'll give it
Okay.
5 for
When you
effort.
said 5, I was like, wait a minute.
I think it
That's-
depends
I
on
don't-
how much you hate your aunt.
Thank you guys. If you are till here till the end, thank you for listening, and please subscribe to our channel. Go to our website. We have like bunch of other episodes there, and maybe give suggestion like what movie we should watch.
fearofstairs.com or Instagram at fearofstairs. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.